Hey, what is going on, guys? Thanks for checking out this video, my sports Gematria. In this video, I'm going to go over the NBA playoff games for Tuesday, May 25th, 2021. I'm going to show you both sides or highlights of both sides of each game, and it's going to be up to you to determine who you think will win based on the numbers. I encourage you to add additional information on top of this if needed for you to feel confident in your own pick. And if for some reason you're curious to know who I'm picking in these games, you'll have to join my Patreon with my picks are always in writing, underlined, and italicized. For more information on that, please read the description of this video. I wish you guys the best of luck in your picks today. Let's go ahead and get into today's games. We have 3 games on the board. Game 2 for Celtics and Nets. Game 2 for Lakers and Suns. Game 2 for Mavericks and the Clippers. So on this side, I have what I call my daily numbers, date numerology, Gregorian Hebrew calendar. This side is what I call my game numbers, the away team up top, their coach record, postseason record, their season record, their postseason record. In the middle is the head-to-head between the two teams, all-time, postseason, and for the year. And then at the bottom is the home team, their season record, their postseason record, their coach's record. And then right up here, I'm going to start to add in more information as the series goes on. As of right now, this is game 2. Nets are in control. They're up 1-0 on the series. So let's look at this matchup here, and Celtics and the Nets. Now, one thing that jumps out at me instantly is today does have 71 date numerology on the Gregorian. Mathematically, 71 is the 20th prime number. Nets could be up in the series 2-0. You know, the Nets coach, he would get his second postseason win for his career and be 2-0. Like 20. If the Nets were to win this game, I would think it might be because of maybe a little bit of the 51 too as well. 51 date numerology on the Gregorian. Nets can get their 82nd all-time head-to-head win against 82, sums to 51. So we have a 71 and a 51 connection for the Gregorian. 71 the 20th prime, 82 sums to 51. Nets can go 2-0, get their 82nd all-time head-to-head against. Something else for the Nets is they would get their 50th win for the season. 50 doesn't have a direct connection other than maybe it being the 25th of May, and 25 sums to 50. But standing alone on its own, Nets, this would be the 5th head-to-head matchup between these two teams for the season. And if Nets get their win and their 50th win for the season, they would also become 5-0, like 50 head-to-head against the Celtics for this season. If we type in the number 50, we see that it sums to 30. And the Nets would also get their 30th home win as they get their 50th win for the season as they become 5-0 head-to-head against the Celtics, like 50. It is the Nets' 38th home game. It's the Celtics' 38th away game. And this is where it can go either way for the Boston Celtics. The reason why I have these 38s in a cantaloupe color for the Hebrew civil is because the number 38, if you write it out, sums to 149. And on the Hebrew civil, today is the 14th day of the 9th month, like 149. 149 is the 35th prime number, 35 date numerology on the Gregorian. But with these 38s here, Nets 38th home game, away game 38 for the Celtics. Celtics can get their 38th win for the season, or they can get their 38th loss for the season. It goes either way. Same for the coach. The coach postseason record is the same as the Celtics season record, so he can get his 38th win or his 38th loss postseason. It goes either way. The only thing that would support Celtics losing with the 38 is they would get their 23rd road loss to go with. And 23 sums to 163, which is the 38th prime number. And so that would be the Nets narrative to win, Celtics narrative to lose. But like I said, this 38 goes either way for the Celtics, for the coach and for the Celtics. And Nets, they could just go ahead and get their 25th loss for the season. It is the 25th day on the Gregorian. It is a day, leaving 311 left in the Hebrew religious year. 311 is the 64th prime number. And with the loss on this particular day, the Nets would sit on 64 postseason wins as a team with the loss. And, this is the 2 seed versus the 7 seed, like 7-2 or 2-7. And Celtics could even the score and tie the series 1-1 like an 11. The Nets coach, he would become 1-1 postseason. The significance of that is the number 11 spells or sums to 27 in two of the four base ciphers, the 2 seed versus the 7 seed. So the series could get off to a 1-1 start, 11 summoned to 27. On top of that, the Nets, they could get their 89th postseason loss as a team to go with. 89 is the 11th Fibonacci number. So that would be the Celtics. So you have two different narratives here. Definitely something to consider both sides. The 38s for the Celtics really goes either way. But they have that 23 that would be concerning for them. And yeah, so hopefully this helps to see both sides. See the 1-1 connection or the 2-0 connection. The series could go either way. Hopefully this helps. Lakers and the Suns. So we have game 2. Phoenix is up 1-0. Are the Lakers going to even the score 1-1? Or are they going to, or the Suns going to go up 2-0? The same thing comes to mind, like the Celtics and the Nets, the 7 seed versus the 2 seed. This is also the 7 seed versus the 2 seed. And as I already mentioned, the number 11 sums to 27 in two of the four base ciphers. And the Lakers could go ahead and even up the series 1-1 like an 11 with a win. The Lakers, they would get their 44th win for the season as they do that. And today does have 71 date numerology on the Gregorian. 71 sums to 144. Just like the number 44 sums to 144. So that's that 44 connection for the Lakers. Lakers would sit on 31 losses for the season. 31 is the 11th prime number, and they can even the score 1-1 head-to-head as they sit on that 31. Okay. Something else, too, that's not good for the Suns is today has 35 date numerology on it. 35 spelt out sums to 142. Suns know this number. It's because the word sun sums to 35. And also 73. No, wait. Yeah, 73 date numerology on the Hebrew religious. But Suns, they can get their 142nd postseason loss as a team on a day with 35 date numerology. 35 sums to 142. It's right there. It's right there in front of us. We can see it. So this would be a Lakers narrative for them to win. And it's not too bad, right? Not too shabby. Lakers, they would get their 39th postseason win head-to-head against the Suns, as the Suns coach becomes 3-9 postseason for his career. That lines up with the number 35 because 35 and 39 are identical in all four base ciphers. Both of them summon to that 142. It would go along with Suns getting that 142 postseason. 3-9, 39. It's all there. Suns would get their 22nd loss for the season to go with. And 22 sums to 39. And it also sums to 42. 42 sums to 142. So it's all there for the Lakers to get revenge, even the score 1-1 against the Suns. Now I'm going to talk about what it would look like if the Suns were to win this game. I know a lot of you just don't want to hear this part. So just focus on the Lakers winning narrative and just ignore this second half of this decode. So we got the Suns sitting on 21 losses for the season where they can stay. We have the Lakers sitting on 21 road wins where they can stay. Today is the 73rd day of the Hebrew religious. 73 is the 21st prime number, and maybe that works in their favor. We do know the Suns, the word Suns, sums to 73 and 35, so maybe that plays in the favor for the Suns. For the Lakers, Lakers would sit on, if they were to lose, they would sit on 43 wins for the season. 43 is the 14th prime number. Lakers coach would get his 377th all-time loss for his career if they sit on 43, or if they continue to sit on 43 losses or wins for the season. 377 is the 14th Fibonacci number. So Lakers, if they were to lose, they can sit on 43 wins for the season, 43 the 14th prime. Lakers coach would get his 377th all-time loss, 377 the 14th Fibonacci number. And then the Lakers, they would become 1-4 head-to-head against the Suns for the season with a loss. 1-4 like 14. You can also look at it as 4-1, 4-1, 14 reflections of each other. But also 14 just straight up sums to 41 as well. And then lastly here, we have the 38s. So just like how we looked at the 38s at this game, 38s, 38s, and we know that the number 38 sums to 149, 149, the 35th prime. Suns, 38th home game, Lakers 38th away game. Suns could sit on 38 all-time postseason losses against the Lakers with a win. And yeah, so that's the two different sides, Lakers, Suns. I already know which side 99.9% of you are already picking. But my duty here is to show you both sides and not just be biased to one side. So hopefully you see both sides here. Hopefully it helps. Mavericks versus the Clippers. Same thing. Second game. Mavs are up 1-0. Clippers looking to get their revenge. Potentially, maybe. Almost the same kind of scenario for the Lakers. Almost the same kind of scenario for the Celtics, trying to even the score 1-1, like an 11. If Clippers even the score against the Mavs 1-1, like an 11, Mavericks would get their 31st loss for the season to go with 31 the 11th prime. But the thing is, it's the 74th Mavericks game. It's the 74th Clippers game. The number 74 sums to 170, 53, and 127. 127 is the 31st prime number. We already talked about Mavericks could get their 31st loss, 31 the 11th prime. Clippers would even the score 1-1 like an 11. But 74 also sums to 170. And this is the 170th all-time head-to-head matchup between these two teams. 74 also sums to 53. And Clippers could become 5-3 like 53 head-to-head against the Mavericks post-season. 53 is the 16th prime number. Mavericks would get their 16th road loss to go with. However, with that said, there still is some numbers here for the Mavericks to up the series 2-0 like 20. Today does have 71 date numerology on the Gregorian. 71 is the 20th prime number. Mavs can up the series 2-0 like 20 as they sit on 71 all-time head-to-head losses against the Clippers with a win. Mavericks would get their 44th win for the season as they become 4-4 head-to-head against the Clippers postseason. Again, 71 date numerology. 71 sums to 144. Just like the number 44 sums to 144. Also sums to 99. And Mavericks would get their 99th all-time head-to-head win against the Clippers, sitting on that 71 as they up the series 2-0 like 20. So Clippers better watch out here. It might get out of control if they can't handle the Mavericks. Let's see. Something that would go against the Mavericks. Today is the 14th day of the third month on the Hebrew religious, 143. If Mavericks lose, they would become 43-31, 4-3-3-1, 4-3-1, 14-3, 1-4-3. Similar numbers, anagram of each other. There could be some reasoning behind it. And I think that's it so far. Of course, I'll continue to look it over. Oh, you know what else? The 63 Clippers coach should be coaching the 63rd postseason. And going back to the number 11. 11 sums to 63, 99, 27. So, I can make a case for either side for the Clippers or the Mavs. It's just whatever they want it to come down to. One thing that would go against the Mavericks as well would be this 204. It is the Mavericks' 204th postseason game, and they can get their 110th postseason loss as a team, and 110 sums to 204. So that could potentially go against them. What else? What else? I think that's it for now. Clippers coach, he can sit on 41 postseason wins for his career with a loss as the Mavericks become 4-1 head-to-head against the Clippers. Mavericks would get their fourth head-to-head win against the Clippers for the season as they get their 44th win as they become 4-4 head-to-head postseason. 41 and 71 share that same number. And speaking of 144, 144 is the 12th Fibonacci number, and Clippers could get their 12th home loss. So there's a very real narrative for the Mavericks to up the series 2-0. So Clippers better watch out. But at the same time, Clippers can go ahead and even the score with that 31 narrative, 31 the 11th prime, even the score 1-1 head-to-head against for the series. Clippers would sit on 11 home losses. So it goes either way. 11 sums to 27. Get the 27th home win. Goes either way. Definitely goes either way. Lakers Suns can make a case either way. For the favor in the Lakers can get their 44th win for the season as they end the Suns' 4-game win streak. So that might be another thing to add in favor of the Lakers. And yeah, Celtics Nets. Well, hopefully this helps. Hopefully this video helps. Hopefully you get some information out of it. Hopefully it helps you with your picks, and whoever you decide to pick in your games for Tuesday, hopefully you win every single one of them. I appreciate you watching. Thanks for the support.